It's Trinity time again. Every week is Trinity time. We get you ready to meditate with us on Wednesday night by explaining, demonstrating, trying to give you the sensation of whatever energy we're going to be meditating on. Because this is how we can change the world, by empowering these energies into the consciousness. If you're not already, be a part of it. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, maybe give us a comment, maybe share it with somebody. Making our presence bigger and more obvious to all the people online is how we get more people to do this meditation with us. And if everybody's focused on empowering these energies, then they become available. They're just sitting in the back of everybody's subconscious now, and when they think, oh, maybe I should be kind, suddenly that kindness has a meaning to it because we've been empowering it. So help us with this. Get a momentum going. We could really use a little momentum on this planet. So help us do that. Every week we give you a different energy, and this week it's the energy of integrity. Integrity is difficult for most people to understand because they think of it in terms of doing the right thing. And we want to get you away from that right-wrong duality. Because integrity is not a right or a wrong, because you're right, maybe somebody else is wrong. And we can't both be in integrity if we're arguing over who's right and wrong. Integrity, instead, we want to think of as the hinge, the axle, the pivot point that this moment revolves around for you. Is that the turning point, that central axle point inside of you? Or is it out here, determined by who's upset and what needs to be done and how long this task is taking and what judgments are flying around? If it's out here, if the whole situation could turn because somebody gets upset, then you have no integrity because your pivot point is out here, it's not in here. That's the kind of integrity we want to talk about. And I've got a really simple self-defense exercise that I stole from judo that I think will be really clear for you. So let's give it a try. If Jen were somebody that I wanted to twist around or throw to the ground or something like that, I would have to get control of that axle that runs through the middle of her, the thing that she spins on. You can kind of just imagine it like a line through the person up and down. It's inside of her, so she's got pretty good control of it. If I just grab her and try to move her around, she can resist because she's got control of that pivot point. If, however, I do something like, grab that arm, shove that shoulder up, I can alter the axis, the pivot point, and take advantage of that, manipulate the person by altering their balance point. Now, a lot of martial arts do that. It's a very common concept, a very simple way to disrupt the person who's trying to fight you. But as long as she maintains her control over that balance point, I can't do much to her. However, if we're both fighting, I'm grabbing here and she's grabbing there, the pivot point is now somewhere right in here, isn't it? Because we're kind of a unit now. If I move this way and she moves that way, we're both moving around this axle right through the middle. And that's a problem because I'm stronger than her. If we're both wrestling over the same axle, then I can eventually win because it's just a question of we're equal, and so who's stronger. So she doesn't want to keep it in this we're on equal footing sort of situation. She wants to regain control of her hinge, her pivot point, her axle. And the easiest way to do that is to let go of the idea that I am controlled by the physics of the moment. Yes, physically speaking, if you were to ask a Newtonian physicist, they would say, yep, there's the axle right between the two of you. However, if you're an athlete and you've been working with a coach, and that coach has really helped you and they're right there after every thing you do, giving you pointers, giving you a critique, pumping you up. You can do this. This is awesome. You're doing great. And you become really, it really helps you. It really helps you to have that coach there. And you begin to think, well, the coach is going to make the difference in this race. That's the hinge point. Well, what if the coach can't be there for your race? Can't you just imagine that they were there? Can't you just feel their presence right next to you and hear what they would say and remember all the wisdom they've given you and feel how they would want you to stay pumped up and excited about this? And that can make the difference, even though the coach is not physically there. So we're not limited by the physics of the moment. Yes, physically speaking, this is the pivot point. But Jen can imagine that the pivot point is back inside of her. To do that, we just do a little simple, like you're sucking it back, like you're sucking back that pivot point. And if you can imagine that it moves back inside of you, then suddenly, I can't move her, but she can move me rather easily. Because she has control of the pivot point again. If she's trying to move me and I've got control of my pivot point, I don't have to resist all that hard, right? But if I'm trying to do something to her, then my pivot point moves out. So you actually lose your balance, your hinge, your pivot point, when you move your intent out into the situation. What am I going to do about this person? How can I make this person feel different? How can I get an answer here? All of that moves your hinge outside and you lose your integrity. But if you can suck it back, then you've got your integrity again. Your balance point is inside of you. It's your intent that matters, not what they said or how she felt or whether this got a good grade. All of that stuff is under your control, even if physically, yes, I do have to do this thing, and yes, this person is in my face yelling. Remember, we're not limited by the physics at the moment. You can imagine that hinge, that pivot point, moving back inside of you. Thank you, Jen. It's a really simple thing. You should try it. Find yourself a situation. There'll be one sometime tomorrow where somebody is demanding something of you, or something needs to be done, or you're really worried about how somebody is going to respond, or whether they will feel good feelings towards you. And just suck your pivot point back inside. Put it back inside of you so that you are in control of whether this moment is powerful, whether this moment matches who you are, that decision is not based on what's happening out here. A very simple way to take back the integrity in your life. If you think this stuff's cool, stay tuned for more Trinity.